Okay, so I'm out here on the old North Country Trail. It's a really windy day, getting a really late start. I think it's probably after 4 already. And I don't even know if the sound's being picked up because the wind is so hardcore, but I'm gonna take a little spur trail to the main trail for about 1/3 of a mile. Anyway, if you see this here, if it's being picked up on the video or not, I can't tell because it's really bright too. But yeah, I'm heading 3/10 of a mile to the main trail here at Bird Road, heading up to, well, technically it's going to be up here somewhere. It's, geez, I want to say it's like 6 miles or so, my hike today, to this campground in the middle of Solon Springs. But anyway, I'll give you updates as needed. Okay, here we are. There's the beginning of the spur trail. Okay, finally got off that spur trail there. Got to the main trail. Yeah, I looked at the map. It's a total of 5.1 miles. I got a little reprieve from the wind in here, you know, because there's a little shaded wooded area. So 5.1 miles will be the total for the day. I've already gone 0.3, so 4.8 remaining. And it should be a lot of open fields, and then a little bit of a road walk, and then a little bit of forest, I think, until we get to that camp area. I don't know, we'll see. I can't really determine it based on the map. Really came ill prepared for the beginning here, but just to give a, you know, a basic breakdown. I'm essentially going from one end of Wisconsin to the other, on the North Country Trail, which starts here. I'm on the Minnesota end right now, and I'm going to be heading east and end at Copper Falls State Park, and it should be a total of 120 miles or so. As I said before, today, getting off to a really late start. It's already after 4 o'clock and really windy, sunny day, so I had a lot of snafus trying to even get going on this trail here. But she's excited, and I'm excited. Yeah, see, I'm excited. Okay. So, off we go. Windy. Okay. 1.8. Oh, whoa. Okay, 4.1. That's what we got. Lucius Woods Park. Bear trap. So, I'm finally into the woods. Got out of that big open area. So that's good. Got a reprieve from the sun. And scenery has gotten a lot better. Yeah. Okay, we're at a place called Leo Creek, which is the first campground we've encountered. Little spur trail that goes to a campsite there, and nice little backpacker campground right there, and right on the trail. Okay, so gotten to the old one parking lot, so I guess 1.6 miles left to go. So I think the majority of this might be a road walk, so we'll see. Woods to start with, anyway. some boring road walk now. The train comes approaching. Well, it's Thursday, July 30th, and yeah, we're just hiking through a nice pine forest here. We're up in highland here, so you know, it's really dry and nice, easy footing, no mud or any of that stuff to deal with. There really haven't been many bugs to speak of. Didn't get started today till about 11:30. It takes a lot of time to tear down your tent, cook breakfast, stage your scooter, figure out where you're going for the day, all that kind of stuff. So even though I was up early, I really don't get started until nearly noon. But you know, we got about 9 to 9.5 miles, something along those lines, to hike today, so shouldn't be too late by the time I'm done, but I'm sure I'll be good and tired. I'm going to be wanting to eat again, so should be a good day. So I stopped at this old Jersid campsite just to take a break, you know, get some water, a little bit of snacks, and I don't know, maybe 2.5, 3 miles into it, so I still got quite a ways to go. 6.5, 7 miles left for my hike today. And it's really windy, but it's welcome because it's hot otherwise. The breeze is keeping me cooled down. So I'm about to get back on the trail. So here I am at the old Jersid Creek.
And moving it from a building that the inspectors say they want to inspect after they say they want to inspect, but before they get us text here. Again, while they're trying to play it without context. Those damn 12th Imam, blah blah, radical Islam, Iran.
So the landscape has changed to this. It's just sort of overgrown, very little canopy, so lots of sun. This is actually more shaded than it's been in a while. And just tall grass and no more pines. So this has been going on for over a mile. I wonder how long it's going to stay like this. But yeah, I have no idea how far along I am, but you know, who knows? Maybe I'm getting somewhere close to halfway. Well, it looks like we're getting to the beginning of the portage area and the Brule River. North Country Trail's this way. It says 75 yards to end of portage in Brule River. I'm not quite sure what that means, but the portage area is, I guess, a place of historical significance. They have several rocks set up where different historical figures used to travel through from one river crossing to the other. They'd have to pick up their boats and carry their crap for however long. So we're going to be kind of following along the classic trail that had been used for people for millennia. But the white man, at least until since the 1600s. So yeah, we'll keep you updated on some of those spots. Here we are along the portage trail. High little vista here. Interesting. Okay. So this is an example of one of these stones. Michael Curo, 1805. So I've actually passed by a few of them without even realizing it. I thought they would be more significant than this, but they're just, every now and then there's a little placard on a tiny stone here. And there's a story behind each of these individuals. Here's our stone here. There's good news and bad news about Corot. The good news was he wrote about his journey up the Brule River and down the St. Croix in great detail. The bad news was Corot was eventually not cut out for the life of a fur trader. He was often outfoxed in deals with the natives and met an early death about a year later. Rip in peace, Michael Corot. Jean-Baptiste Cadot, 1819. Henry R. Schoolcraft, 1820. Nicholas Jr. and Joseph Lucius, 1886. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of the portage here. Approaching now, it looks like I'm here at the road. I think this is County Road A here. And well, let's check out this sign. Okay, well, means I've gone 7.1 miles already from where I started. And that leaves me with 2.3, I believe, to get to where my scooter is. I've got the Brule Bog to come. So, it's been a nice little hike here. Oh, here we go. The Brule Bog starts in about a third of a mile. St. Croix Creek in a little bit more than that. Highway P in a mile, and then Croshaw Road, where my scooter is, 2.3 miles. Now the interesting thing about this portage trail and all those little stones and that is, you know, and just imagine carrying all your stuff that distance. I mean, granted, it's only about 2.5 miles from over here, which is where the St. Croix River, all the way up there. Lots of up and down too. Lots of you know, climbing and even some switchbacks, believe it or not. To and then descents back down into the Brule River. So that would have been kind of a pain in the ass, but I think people were a little bit tougher back then. Okay, so here's the start of that boardwalk, I guess, of this 2+ mile stretch here. At least a mile of it or so is going to be on boardwalk like that, so that's kind of nice. Nice soft wood to walk on. Alright, see how the bugs are. So far it's been actually pretty good. I have yet to get a mosquito bite. I mean, there's gnats and flies buzzing around that are sort of annoying, but nothing too problematic. Alright, so there we go. This is the Brule Bog. Oh, actually see a little fish swimming in there. Well, we reached County Road P, which means only 1.3 miles left to go. Entering the home stretch here. It's a long day. I'm actually very tired of walking, so I'm glad that it's ending. Check out this moss. I mean, this is just so green. This is so pretty. It's like this along this whole bog area. Glad I'm not walking on it, but still nice to look at. Well, finally made it. Oh boy. Be back there. I'll be back as soon as I can get back. Holy shit. Okay, so starting off Friday, July 31st. It's about, I think it's about 8:15 in the morning, maybe a little after. So getting quite a bit earlier of a start. And I've got my scooter set up 5.4 miles from here, just because I'm pretty stiff and sore. So we'll see how I feel after the first 5 miles. Maybe I'll do another section, but the next section after that is about 7 miles. So I don't know if I was up for 13 miles today, but we'll see how I feel, like I said. And starting at Highlands, City Hall here, and making our way up to where I actually camped last night. So it was an easy setup, just had to drop off the scooter. And that is somewhere off of the Highway 27, I can't remember what they call it, but anyway, it's about 5.5 miles from here. So, see you on the trail. So, we've pretty much been descending the whole way. And, actually got to a boardwalk area, so I'm guessing it's really low lying area here. And it's really been kind of overgrown, grassy, stuff once I got out of that pine forest. So, I don't like walking through this kind of stuff, but I guess you gotta walk through it all to get to the end. So I finally got out of that grassy area, and boy, it was ridiculous. If it weren't for these blazes on the trees there, I would have no idea where I was going. I mean, the grass was like waist high. And, that was my guide. So, now we seem to have climbed out of that and into a pine area, and now it looks like we're going into a really open area as I'm leaving this little pine forest here. Actually, there's a dirt road here. So, yeah. Hopefully, won't be following this road, but oh, here's a sign. Let's see what it says. Okay. So, I'm about 3 miles or so from where I started, because it was a little bit before that Highland campsite. Highway S, okay, 3.1. So, looks like I only got about, well, it says 2 miles. So, that's that. Because I only have 2 miles left. Pretty good. Feeling pretty fatigued today. Just worn down from not having hiked in a while. But, yeah, this, whatever. Okay, so we're finally out of that old open area with the rolling hills and no shade. Back into a nice pine shaded forest here. So, we're under 2 miles. And, we'll see how I feel when I get there, and maybe I'll try to take a nap or something, then I can do another leg of this hike. It'd be nice to get in the next section or so, but I think it's about 7 miles or so, so I don't know. That's longer than what I've done already today, so we'll see how I feel. Actually, my muscles aren't really that sore. It's just I kind of feel underslept more than anything. I just kind of need a nap. Well, looks like I'm at the end here. There's my scooter. So, let's see. Rush Lake Road, 2.7. Samples Road. Okay, that's where the next parking lot is. 7.4 miles. I don't know. I'm going to sit down a while, see how I feel. I'll let you know. off yesterday the Gaylord Nelson portal to the NCT, North Country Trail, and gonna do about a 7.6 mile trek up to the Samples Road trailhead, which is the closest point that we can get to. So got my girlfriend with me today, and we've got the dog all packed up and we're ready to go. So if we feel like doing more, we will, but you know, we're doing 7.6 for now and then see how we feel after that. So it'll be a short little spur trail here to the main trail, and then we're off. Okay, we're back here at this spot. We got to the trail, and as it says here, actually 7.4 miles, so it's actually 2/10 of a mile less than what the map says, so that's awesome. Maybe it's a little shorter. Okay, so we've come to the road crossing 27 here, and we're not even half a mile into it and we're already crossing the road. And obviously it's opened up quite a bit here, so we might be in the sun for a little while before we re-emerge, I'm assuming, back that way into another pine forest. So it'll be hot for a little bit, but we'll walk through this and get out of the sun. Yeah, so we're hanging out here at the old Paul Scotch campground. We're about 2 miles in, you know, feeling fine, but decided to take a little rest so I could, you know, go to the bathroom and whatnot and give the dog some water. You know, it's a nice day, got a nice breeze. The landscape's kind of chopped up, a lot of kind of former logging area, I guess, and it's just new growth forest and a lot of down trees, but looks like it's improving as we get through. There's a little stream coming through here, so I think the landscape will improve. But it'll be about 3 miles to the next little rest point campsite, and that's that. Cut. Just close it. Anyway, I only have so much time on that, you know.
Yeah, but then we unload it tonight on the laptop.
That's true, but
Micah, hi, you're so pretty.
you can zoom in on her too. We'll test it out. I don't even have it in the fully HD either, just because it doesn't record as much. I don't know, I have to see what it actually looks like. At first it was on regular quality. I didn't even realize that I didn't have it in HD, but I don't know. We'll see what it looks like and then adjust from there. Alright, shut it down.
There's
Please.
some people hiking right there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're crossing on Ravine Road here. That means we're 2.7 miles into it. And let's see what it says here. To sample roads, 4.7. So, yeah, a total of 7.4, I guess, was the hike. So 4.7 miles to go. Got a nice little blackberry bush here. Got one of them that's actually black. Here. Ooh, that's out of focus. Yeah. So there's some blackberries along the way here. Not really too many ripe ones yet though. Okay, so we're hiking uphill through some nice pine forest here. Nice soft footing. Nice breeze coming through the trees. Shaded. Makes for pleasant walking. We're going uphill right now, but for the most part we've been on a flat ridge line. Got started today about 9:45. Today is August 1st, so we made it into August. My girlfriend just had a tick crawling on her. A couple days ago I had a tick on me. It's one of those wood ticks, so not a big deal, but dogs had a couple, so that's kind of a nuisance. But yeah, just gotta stay vigilant about that. Looks like we're opening up again out of the forest into a more sunny area. It's a nice look out over the Brule River here. We're coming close to the end of our hike today. I think most likely it's less than a mile. But we don't have accurate detailed maps, so it's just an estimate. Okay, so we made it to the parking lot here. And just a little spur trail out of here. And truck should be there. And that'll be 7.4 miles today. And maybe we'll go on another hike later tonight. We'll see how we feel. And that's that. Well, this is our campsite at Old Birch Grove. Right under an old basketball hoop. Obviously not regulation. And a couple of chairs, fire pit. There's my truck and my scooter. Little pavilion there, power source. Showers up yonder, Wi-Fi access. Volleyball court. Pretty much just an old RV park with a bunch of senior citizens. And there's a bar here too. It's $10 a night, and it's got all the amenities, so this has been a nice central hub for us to stay in for doing our day hikes. Probably stay here one more night, and then my girlfriend will be leaving, and then I don't know, I'll be moving on into the National Forest section. So we're out of the Brule Forest section and out of that connector area after today, hopefully, depending on the weather. And that'll just leave me with the 70 or so mile stretch in the National Forest, plus the X number of miles to get through the Copper Falls State Park. So 80 or so miles left to go, I suppose, after today. Go up there. So we're out starting our next day. I guess we're here at, what is this place called? This is we're off the Samples Road parking lot, and got my truck all the way down here. Well, actually it's off the map. Here we are at the Lake Ruth parking lot. I also have my scooter set out somewhere around here off Arrow Road, which isn't depicted, but that's 8.8 miles away. The truck is 13.2 miles away, so if I get to 8.8 miles and I'm tired, then that's where the end of the day is going to be. If I feel like going the whole way, then the truck will be there. Getting dropped off today, my girlfriend's leaving. There's some kind of dark clouds up ahead, but the radar says it's clear. So, I don't know. I think everything should be fine, other than the fact that I'm a little bit car sick.
Ready?
Somebody's fault. So yeah, indeed, 8.8 miles to Perro Road, which is where my scooter is. And then it's another 4.4 to my truck. So 13.2 today, if I feel up to it. Feeling a little weird today, but you know, maybe I'll work myself into it. It's close to noon, and it's August the 2nd, I think. I don't know, maybe it's August the 3rd. Hard to say, but it's Monday. So spent yesterday, didn't hike at all because we had to take care of some stuff. Did my laundry. I you know, ran a few errands, whatever. And back, what else? Just hung out in Ironwood, took a drive up to Lake Superior there, where the Brule River enters the lake, and had a little picnic and whatnot. And what else did we do? We stay back. That was about it. We had some steaks. We had a nice dinner over the fire at the camp. And yeah. Oh, and we went for a little canoe ride out on the lake that we're camping at. So we got some activities in, but no hiking. So I'm back on the trail today. So I want to get some done. So it would be nice to get the 13.2 in. So updates forthcoming. Look at that. There are some large dumps along the trail. I don't know. I suppose that's a bear. I don't know what else could create something so fucking massive. I actually saw a bear the other day. Or was it yesterday? The day before yesterday? Yeah, just climbing a tree out on the side of the road there. So they're out here. I don't really want to see one on the trail. That'd be pretty annoying. But, you know. They're shitting. Okay, so I guess I've gone 2.1 miles. This is facing the way I came from. And not sure what road this is, but I'm crossing a road. I don't think it's anything of significance. And okay. Perro Road says it's 4.8 miles. There's no way. I mean, because I've only gone 2.1. Oh, maybe there's a discrepancy. Maybe it's not as far as I think. That might not be the same Perro crossing, though. I think it crosses it more than once. So if that is the case, then I'm only 4.8 miles away from my scooter. But I think it's 6.7 miles to go. But, you know, we'll see. There is a campsite 4.3 miles away, and then Wills Road 1.9. Alright. Well, I was climbing through new growth pine forest for a while, but now it's gotten lower and kind of into these kind of ash, birch forest, whatever it is, birch I think, and you know, a little more grassy in that. But we've had a breeze most of the time. When it's not breezy though, it is a bit humid, but the high today is only 71, so the temperature has dropped quite a bit. Last night actually it was kind of cold sleeping out, and that's a good thing. And I believe tomorrow's high is only going to be like 72, and the humidity should be gone as well, so it should be pleasurable walking weather for at least the foreseeable future. So, oh, let's hope that it isn't as far as we think it is. But who knows? Okay.
It may not be nice.
Little cut up area. Forest here.
And you don't go to jail for
Circumcised forest.
Not at all.
And there was a Supreme Court ruling on the jet ski.
Who knows? Maybe I'm 3 miles or so.
Said
And
it was legal, that upheld it.
hard to
That
say.
still stands to this day, right?
Okay,
That's
so I guess I've... Where have we gone? Pit Road, 3.7. Probably gone, I don't know, 3.9 miles then. Close to 4, because that was about 0.2 from the parking lot. And now we're crossing good old Troy Pit Road. And at the corner of Wills and Troy Pit. Ooh, let's see what it says now. How many more miles? Oops. Okay. There's a campsite in 2.4. Perro Road, it says is 2.9. But we shall see. If that's the case, then 7.3, I guess, left to go, if I do the whole thing. Well, I went down a little spur trail to campground. I was really looking forward to take a rest, but it's all overgrown there, and who knows how far off the trail it is, and it's a really buggy area, so I doubt it would be too much fun to rest there anyway. But it's on this nice lake here. I don't know if that can be visible. We'll get a little clearing here. So, yeah, I assume the campground is back there eventually, but I've been walking through some really overgrown stuff. It's, you know, some kind of thorny bushes and everything too, and so it's been a while since the maintenance crews come through here, I guess. And gnats and mosquitoes just flying around. I haven't got bit, but they're just all over my face, and it's kind of annoying. But I guess I won't be taking a break, fortunately. Would have been nice, but it's just too buggy and too overgrown. Well, here's an example. It looks like I'm getting back into some thicket. I mean, I had some stuff that was like shoulder height and could barely follow through on the trail anymore. There's a nice shot of the lake. But yeah, these guys right here, these have thorns on them. When they get high, you know, you can't really stick them out of your way. So, I'm kind of glad I grabbed this stick today. The little walking stick. It's kind of helped me, you know, just knock crap out of my way while I'm trying to walk. Yeah. Anyway, I guess I'll just keep walking. I don't know how far I am, but I think I might only be about half a mile to my scooter, so we'll see. I mean, worst case, I could always just take a rest there and just sit on the seat of my scooter if it's not too hot. Because I don't like sitting on the ground. As soon as you sit down, something's going to crawl on you, something stupid. Tick or a spider or whatever. The flying insects will swarm around you. It's just, you know, you need a nice clearing, like a good campground and high ground. But yeah, this is nice. It's a pretty lake. But I guess I'll have to find some other subpar place to take a rest. Okay, so I made it to Perro Road. So I guess I've gone 8.8 miles. My scooter is here. Here's good old Perro Road. Ooh, my goodness. I really need a rest. I think I'm gonna make rest out in the middle of the road here. So, it's so buggy in the forest. And muggy as well. And you can look up and see the sky. It's just overcast and just And it's not hot, it's just real humid. Alright, let's see what this says here. Yeah. Highway A, 4.4 miles. I think I might do it, but I gotta take a rest. Here we are at Eric Lake. There's a nice little campground here. Yeah, I wish I would have known about this before. Instead of resting in the middle of the road, I could have had a nice rest right here on the lake. But I'm all rested up, so I'm not going to stop. But I will give you a view of this nice lake here. So, obviously I decided to keep going. And, you know, do the last 4.4 miles to the truck. And I'll come back and get that scooter. You know, I just gave myself the option of tapping out after 8.8, but after sitting in the road there for a bit, I feel fine. The only thing I'm concerned about is monkey butt, you know, the dreaded red ring of death on your ass cheeks. You know, I got baby powder on there now, but it's a little chafed, and hopefully it won't become a problem for tomorrow, especially after I have another 4+ miles to hike now. So, you know, we'll see. This might be a mistake. Maybe I should have stopped, but I'd like to get this last bit done here. That way I can start tomorrow off County Road A, which will put me right into the National Forest section. So I'll have done the Brule Forest, all that section before the Brule, and then this kind of intersection land between the Brule State Forest and then the, I don't know, some Indian named Chequamegon something or other National Forest. Chequamegon, who knows. But anyway, I'll officially be entering the National Forest starting tomorrow after I finish today's hike. So, that's that. So, been sort of walking along an old forest road, I guess. It's another nice birch grove forest here. And the wind's coming through, it's knocking down the humidity and sweeping away the bugs, so there's a nice wide berth here to walk along, so you don't have thorny stuff sweeping against your legs or any of that nonsense. So, pretty good. Who knows, maybe I have like 3.5 miles left or something like that, I assume. Alright. Okay, so we've gone 2.1 miles since then. Okay, 2.2 miles left. Oh boy, I'm starting to wear down. Well, it's a nice little overlook here into the valley. I'm just pushing along. My legs are really spent. Hopefully it's less than a mile left. Because, yeah, I'm tired. I need to sit down. And I don't want to sit before the end because I might not be able to get up. But I have a sense that the road should be coming pretty soon. We'll see. Okay, finally, we reached County Road A. There's my truck straight ahead. No cars coming either way. And holy crap, I'm exhausted. I've had enough. More than enough. She's probably had enough too. Time to drink some water, pick up the scooter, take a shower, get something to eat. Starting to get a headache. Till next time. Alright, so I'm here at the beginning of the Chequamegon National Forest, and starting at County Road A, gonna head, well, my scooter anyway, stage 7.1 miles to Forest 228, Delta Road, and you know, once again, if I feel like going beyond that, I will. The next section after that is 6.4 miles, so it'll be about the same as I hiked yesterday, so I might do another section, just depending on how I feel. I was afraid I was gonna feel sore from yesterday's hike, but I don't. I feel fine. It's just after 11. I don't know, what is it? Probably August 4th or 5th. I don't know what day it is, but it's Tuesday. And I moved up my camp from where I was staying at Birch Grove. So I probably won't be staying there anymore since I'm moving kind of past the area. So might look for something closer to Drummond, and gonna have to secure a place where I can take a shower too. You know, we'll figure all that out after I'm done walking today, which will either be anywhere from 7 to 13.5 miles, depending on how I feel. Okay. So the trail is finally opened up. It was really thick and thorny and grassy for the majority of, I don't know, the first mile or so. I don't know how far I am. I'm guessing I'm a mile and a half into it. Haven't had any sign postings, but it does appear as though a road is coming up. It's kind of strange. It's almost like I can intuit the road crossing, so it seems like every time I pull out the camera to do an update, here comes a road. But of course, as I say that, it isn't the case this time. It's just a log that's fallen across the trail. It's not a road. I don't have my glasses on, so that's my excuse. But yeah, I'm guessing probably a mile and a half in or so. And it's really nice in here. It was pretty gross before, but things have been improved dramatically, and yeah, hopefully it'll stay like this. I don't think there's any campgrounds on this 7-mile stretch, so there's not going to be any real nice places to sit and rest, but I don't know if you really need much of a rest on a 7-mile hike, but we'll see how it goes. Well, I guess I've only gone 1.6 miles from Lake Ruth, and I'm crossing one of the forest roads. There's only like 2 road crossings till I get to the end, and the next one's in 2.2 miles, so, whew. So I still got a ways to go. About 5.5 miles. But, hopefully we'll have an open thoroughfare like it's starting here so far. Okay. Yep, coming onto that road now. So maybe I'll get a little update of mileage. Maybe this isn't the road. Who knows? There's no update here. It's a road. Perhaps not the road. Well, Yeah, there's no signage, so there's no telling. But it's a road. And I'm crossing it. Okay, so I guess here I am at the end. Whew. Oh, very happy to get out of there. That is horrible. There are so many mosquitoes flying around. Gnats. It's just absolutely disgusting. Well, let's check our sign for tomorrow, or maybe later today. It's not so much that I'm tired, it's just I'm tired of being swarmed. Okay. 6.4 miles would be the parking area. Wow, that first 5 miles was absolutely ridiculous. Somehow I stayed up. I'm tired. Okay, well, it's 9:20, Wednesday, August 5th. Dog's packed up, I'm packed up. We're planning on doing we better do 3 sections today because my scooter's 12.5 miles away. You can see here it's beyond our mileage updates here, but it's 3 sections of trail. 3, from parking lot to parking lot kind of thing. And starting where I left off yesterday, down here off the Delta Road and going all the way to Drummond. Well, I'll actually be in the town of Drummond, which is where I camped last night. Nice, secure spot where I can park my truck and everything, and I'll probably sleep there again tonight, actually. And there's a pay shower place at a RV camp in town there too. So I can always take a shower there as well, so it's a nice, convenient spot to end the day's hike. But it will be a long one, 12.5 miles. And there probably won't be many places to take a decent rest. For whatever reason, through this section of the trail, there aren't any designated campgrounds along the trail. So those are always ideal, because they got the nice wide benches and the cleared out area for you to just rest and not worry about things crawling all over you. But this section promises to be buggy and weedy. I actually met some of the maintenance crew this morning, but they're going ahead of me, so tomorrow's hike should be nice and mowed and everything, so should only be one more day of this because they're 1 day ahead of me. So after today, things should be nice and clear and I should have good hiking conditions, though it may rain tomorrow, but probably not until the late afternoon after I'm already done hiking. But it's pretty cool right now. I don't know, it's probably in the 60s or 60 degrees or something like that. And it's about 9:20 when I got started, Wednesday, August the 5th, and here we go. Well, it's really nice forest, actually. Haven't been dealing with too much stuff, overgrown or any of that so far, and the temperature's nice and cool. Not much of a breeze. I'm sure it'll get much hotter as the day goes on, but maybe I've gone a mile or so, I don't know. Yeah, The dog has been really energetic too. Maybe it's the cool weather. She's been practically running, and that's kind of made me go at a faster pace. Just trying to keep up with her. And yeah, so it's just a nice forest stroll, I suppose. Some rolling hills, rocks and roots. The only obstructions. It's good stuff. We're coming up to a huge, beautiful lake up here. Man, this is quite sizable. Come on, this way. Let's check this out. Wow. Nice. I don't know what they call it, but looks inviting, like you want to jump right in. I don't feel like getting wet or anything, but if it was maybe later in the day and I was hot and sweaty, I'd consider it. Yeah, well, looking at the map, I'm thinking that that's Tower Lake. It's the only lake that's right on the trail at this section, so I'm thinking that's Tower Lake. Like, it's still in view where I am. I'm kind of turning away from it now. So, there you have it. Well, this is really frustrating. I've been walking for quite a while, and there's just no blazes on the trail. I mean, I even got to a point here along this lake where, I got to it and then it forked off into two different directions. I mean, so I went left, like I assumed the other one was just a trail down to the lake, but there's no signage, no indication. I mean, this is continuing. I mean, it's obviously a trail that people walk on. I assume I'm on the right trail, but it's kind of inexcusable, like, to not have blazes anywhere. This is really frustrating, and it kind of puts you on edge, like, the last thing you want to do is sort of get, disoriented like this, in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, that's really obnoxious. I'm gonna have to, assuming I get out of here, just complain about it on the logbook. I mean, it's just not right. That's not cool. Oh well. Well, looking at the map, that giant lake where the trail forked, that's got to be Rainbow Lake. I mean, it's a huge, beautiful lake. And, assuming I went the right way, it should be on the right side of me, and it indeed was. So I think I went the right way. It's too bad I didn't get to really enjoy it, because I was kind of flustered at, just the lack of signage and blazing. I mean, like, even here, for example, I mean, there's animal trails that go off the track that, I guess you just got to stay on the one that looks the most dominant. But it's, you got to have blazes because of how fast stuff grows here. There hasn't been trail maintenance. That little trail I did by the lake there, that was all overgrown. That could have just as easily been an animal trail as, the North Country hiking trail. And I'm still not 100% sure I'm going the right way, because of course there's no no blazes. That's queer as the blazes, as Ron Paul would say. Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, this is a trail. I'm on a trail. It's going somewhere. It'll eventually spit me out on some sort of road. So, you know, I assume I'm going the right way, though. I feel a little bit more comfortable about it just by looking at that. I mean, I can't imagine that's anything other than Rainbow Lake. I am hiking through the Rainbow Lake wilderness, after all. So, you know, updates. Well, what do you know? I have actual confirmation that I'm on the trail. It's only been about 3 miles or something without having any kind of signage or blazes or indication whatsoever. But, you know, at least till now, I'm going the right way. But I don't expect there to be any more signs either, so I gotta, you know, keep paying attention. Make sure I'm on the, you know, the most dominant looking trail. Yeah, I don't understand that, you know. It's just a can of blue spray paint is all you need. You know, I would have volunteered to do it for him had I known. To tag up the forest, you know, like one could be right there on that tree, you know. All right. Anyway, I'm going the right way, but you know, hopefully, you know, once I get past this section here, this Rainbow Wilderness section, it'll be back to being blazed. But you know, we'll see. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to, you know, keep paying attention and making inferences. All right. So I believe I'm at Raynard Lake here, and of course there's, you know, a fork in the trail. It could have gone either way, but according to the map, should be following it on the right hand side, so I guess it means go left. And you know, and that means I'm pretty close to getting to the first end of the first segment, the first 6.4 miles. Should be done, so I'm probably like about 6 miles-ish in. Maybe got half a mile at the most. That's a guess, I don't know. Till I hit the road, where should be a little, you know, parking area and hopefully some signs, for Christ's sake. I mean, this is so ridiculous. But, yeah. So, I am where I think I am. And this is Raynard Lake. And it should be the last of the major lakes on this section of hike. Just many beautiful lakes along the way. But, yeah, I guess that means that I'm close to about halfway through today's hike, too. So, that's good. Feeling fine. I haven't even taken a sip of water yet. I only brought one bottle, so it would have sucked if I would have kind of got lost in there and only had that. No, I would have had to start drinking the dog's water and, you know, force her to drink out of the lake. So, yeah. What I usually do is just drink a bunch of water before I leave. That way I don't have to carry much. And then, you know, you gotta piss a few times along the way, but it, you know, keeps the weight down. Well, despite the lack of blazing, I decided to take a little side trail down to this Bufo Lake and give the dog some water and just check it out. So, you know, it should be relatively straightforward to get back to the main trail. But, you know, of course there's no signs, but, you know, here we go. It's a nice lake, though. Bufo Lake. It's got to be the right one up on the left, just off the trail. So, yeah, there's a series of really beautiful lakes along this section of hike, this Rainbow Lake Wilderness. So, you know, let me walk back up the way I came. And, you know, back to normal. Yeah. And here's the main trail, and going back the right direction. Okay, so I'm coming out to a road. It's gotta be the right one, right? Rainbow Lakes Wilderness. Okay. Unbelievable. Well, yeah, I'm still on the North Country. Oh yeah. 6.4. Done the first leg. And this must be the parking area, which is just a little shoulder. That's how they usually are. Okay, well, we know so far, so good. And there's one little blue blaze there. But it doesn't appear that it's going to continue. So it's going to be more of this crap where they don't tell you where you are. And they haven't given me an update on this either, but I know the mileage. Well, this next section is only 1.5 miles, so I don't really need a break after doing that 6.4. I don't even feel slightly tired. I feel great. I've been working myself into shape like I did on the Superior Trail. But, yeah. Look at this. A blaze. Can you believe it? So maybe they'll have blazes on this section. I'm out of the Rainbow Lake Wilderness. Maybe it's just that particular area. There's, for whatever reason. Wonder what that noise was. For whatever reason, don't, you know, let you know where you are. But I managed to navigate through it successfully, and we got 1.5 miles to the next section. So here we go. I've seen one blaze, but none. So, and here's another one. So maybe this one has better signage. Hopefully. I think we're winding down this 1.5 mile section. I see a road off to the right of me. Okay, I'm coming out to it now. Yeah, that was pretty bad. It was like some waist-high crap. Really overgrown section there. I'm definitely happy to be out of here. This is an example of how grassy it is. Okay. Guess I've gotten 7.9 miles so far. Alright, now where does it continue? Where does it continue? Ah, I see it. Like I knew. Okay, well, so we're crossing Drummond Road here. Yeah. Phew. I was kind of hoping to take a break. I didn't remember that I was crossing a paved road here. I'm not going to sit on a paved road. So, guess I'll have to find something else. Let's see here. Okay, 1.8 miles till the next road crossing. 4.6 miles left to go on the whole hike. Alrighty. Well, I'm taking my first break of the day, actually, on this bench overlooking this nice lake here. You can hear there's some people in there swimming somewhere from the distance. Gave her some water. I just had my first sip of water, and I figure, you know, there's only about 4 miles at the most left to go, so I'm more than 2/3 of the way through. Might as well take my first sip of water. And yeah, doing pretty good. Maybe I'll grab a snack or something too. And about a mile to go before I get to that road. Then after that, just 2.8 miles. So yeah, probably less than 4 miles. Yep. Another huge lake overlooked here. This today's hike has probably been the most scenic I've done so far on the entire journey. Lots of climbing up and down right now, though. Oh well, taking me right down to the lake. Maybe I made a round turn or something. Like it cut all the way in the lake. Ah, she needed to cool off. Alright, let's go this way. I assume. Whoops. But yeah, the trailblazing has been good ever since that Rainbow Lake Wilderness area I got out of there. It's been back to normal. Consistent blue blazes letting you know that you are on the right track. Alright, reached Crisco Lake Road, or whatever it's called. Last road crossing. So that means there's 2.8 miles to go. I think I'm going to take a break. I'm actually really feeling it now, starting to wear down. Lots of climbing in there, plus we're getting to the midday heat. So I'm going to sit for a bit, get this last 2.8 in. So an old dried river crossing here. Oh god damn, fucking mosquito. Long Lake Branch Creek. Well, I'm doing the last section now. Last 2.8, I don't know. I'm probably half a mile through it. There's probably a little over 2 miles left to go. Wow. That fucker bit me. Get the hell away from me, god damn it. Okay, let's go. Yep, so just a couple, 2 miles and change left to go. Okay, well I can hear some cars, so I must be getting close to the end, so close to the road. It's a good thing too, because I'm definitely worn down and mosquitoes keep biting me on the back of the neck. It's really obnoxious. But yeah, it's a nice little section of trail though. Little city woods here. They have little placards of certain points of interest, I guess. Yep, you can hear the cars. Must be really close. And here's an example of one of these placards. Majestic hemlock. Wasn't so majestic for Socrates. Okay, well, here it is. Scooter's there. Well, I made it. Thank God. I'm done. Okay, well, I'm starting off on the trail where I left off yesterday, and that would be an old 63 here in the town of Drummond. And I'm doing something different today. I'm doing shorter segments and then just gonna, leapfrog my scooter over and over again, and I'm not gonna carry anything with me. I don't even have water, I have nothing. Neither does the dog. I just think it'd be a lot nicer not to have to carry a backpack at all. And it's been the case that I haven't been, drinking water. So, at least not until I get, 6 or 7 miles into it. So, this first section here is 3.5 miles. I just drank a bunch of water now before I left. And, with my scooter, I have a water bottle, so when I get there I can drink something, and then, there's water for the dog too. So I think that'll be better. It'll be better for both of us. Be careful. Yeah, we're crossing 63 right now, so gotta really pay attention. Alright, let's go. Alrighty, alright, go, 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 go. Yeah, this is nice, this is all mowed now. Yeah, the trail maintenance people who I met yesterday should have mowed this section. Yeah, let's see. Laco in 3.5 miles. Picnic area 3.7 miles. Oh, okay, that's where my truck is. Oh, it's a little further than I thought, but still. Thought it was 3.4. Anyway, so that's where my scooter is, and that's where I'll take my next drink. But I have nothing weighing me down. It's nice walking free and easy. And wow, what a gorgeous looking forest here. And it should be nice and mowed for me. So, see ya. So, I neglected to mention that it's Thursday, August the 6th, I think, and I'm starting at 9:20 again, just like yesterday. So, yeah, 3.5 mile segment here. Go to the scooter, load it up, and then load it another 4 miles or so later, you know, and just keep doing it that way and water and rest up as I'm doing the, you know, transporting. So I think that's nice. I you know, the backpack gets all the chafes on your shoulders and gets all sweaty, and you know, it's nice just walking with nothing but just a few snacks in your pockets and the camera and your keys. And the dog's got nothing but her shock collar on. She's carrying nothing. So that's good. So I'm walking through an open kind of thicket area, and you can just imagine what this would be like if the maintenance people didn't come through yesterday and mow it. So that's really good timing, because this probably would have been like this throughout. So yeah, nice wide berth. So yeah, I got out of the forest. Now I'm in this open, sunny area. No telling how far along I've been. I'm probably like, I don't know, maybe halfway or so through the old 3.5 mile segment. So onward, ho. Well, it's kind of hard to imagine that they mowed this yesterday. I mean, I just went through a section that was shoulder height, and you know, now it's kind of getting thick again. I mean, yeah, I mean, if they mowed this, I wonder what it was like before. And this section here is kind of, at least the ground is short. But wow, maybe they just got tired and just did a little bit. There are a lot of kind of mountains to climb, and one of the guys doing the maintenance only had one leg, so that's understandable. I mean, they're volunteers. I mean, they're not obligated to do anything. So yeah, but I just don't like walking through that thick stuff, because who knows what kind of creepy crawly is gonna latch onto you. But hopefully I'll be out of this soon, because this is less than ideal. So I finally got through that overgrown area into the forest. I mean, it was terrible. There were snakes slithering around by your feet. You couldn't even see if you were walking. It was really, couldn't possibly have been mowed. But here I am coming up to a road, Forest Road 213. So here's a crossing of it, which means, ooh, not good. Which means that, I don't know what that means. It means that that's the one road crossing, and now we're heading back up into the woods and heading over to Lake Owen, to where the scooter is. However many miles it is from here is, actually, oh, I know. I actually am very close, because that's the road crossing, but the parking lot was further down. So I believe I just go up this hill and down a side spur trail, and I'm essentially done, I think. But I'll see, I guess. Okay, here we go. Lake Owen Picnic Ground, that's where it is. Okay. So yeah, a little spur trail off to where the scooter is. I'm not sure how far it is. I don't think it's too far, but I could have either done this or walked down the road a little bit. I mean, either way. But might as well stay in the woods since I am hiking. I mean, this may ultimately be longer, but whatever. Okay, looks like we're coming to the end here of the spur trail. That's a little farther than it would have been just a walk on the road, but not a huge difference. And there's the scooter. I didn't lock it up, but it's still there. Alright, well, I'm back at this parking lot here at the spur trail. About to hike around the lake. You know, the next section is, it's like 4.4 miles or something like that. Where my scooter is, and I think that'll be it for the day. I'm feeling really tired, you know, my legs are tired, I'm very sleepy. Yeah, I want to at least get this in though. Plus it's supposed to rain later this afternoon, so I don't really want to get myself embroiled into something too far, you know, get caught out in the rain. Although the sky looks awfully clear right now. But yeah, I'm just kind of tired. Worn out. So, and plus I need to think about trying to find a place to do my laundry again. So maybe I'll do that this afternoon if it's raining. You know, probably head back to Drummond and take a shower and use the Wi-Fi at the public library and scope out places with laundromats. And also try to figure out for the next place I'll be able to snake a shower as I move past this area, because I'm kind of getting further away from the Drummond area and can't keep driving back here to take a shower. It'd be a waste of time. So hopefully, I think there's an Island View campground somewhere, but I don't exactly know where it is, but that'll be closer to where I'll be hiking for the next few days, so I'll probably be using that one after today. Their shower anyway. So anyway, yeah, just gotta hike this spur trail back to the old main trail. And once again, I'm carrying nothing with me. So I drank a bunch of water and now I'm gonna walk hands-free. Well, this next section of trail is essentially going to be walking around this big, beautiful lake. So, and trail itself is really nice. Nice pine forest with no stupid weeds and thorns. And so this should be a nice treat. I'm wondering if there's going to be a section where it goes down to the lake, because I'm kind of like up overlooking it from, 20 or so feet. But it's I heard a boat out there, a motorboat. It's pretty. So yeah, it's a nice one. Really nice lake. Just figured I'd show my face, I haven't shown my face yet today. So there's really no point to this posting, just so you can see my beautiful face. So here we are lakeside. Pretty sweet. It's starting to get really humid. I even heard, I think I heard thunder even. So it might actually rain, so I probably should keep walking. But I've decided to just sit here and look at the lake for a second. Pretty cool. So I've made it around the lake there. And it's starting to get real humid. I'm feeling really sluggish, almost to the point where I don't feel like walking, but I'm crossing Forest Road 213 now, so that's the one benchmark of note. So that means I've gone 2.9 miles, which means I have a mile and a half left to go. And whew, boy, I tell you, I think it's maybe because front's coming through. A lot of times when thunderstorms developing or a front's moving through, the barometric pressure changes and it just makes me really lightheaded. And that coupled with the fact that I was kind of tired to begin with, and I haven't had much to eat. I haven't had a proper meal all day. It's kind of all coming to a head. But yeah, it's only a mile and a half though to my scooter, so whew, boy, that's I was glad to see that I'd already gone 3 miles. I wasn't sure how far I'd gone, but anyway, got about a mile and a half left to go, and then I get to take a nice scooter ride and cool off and feel the breeze. Okay, well, there I made it to the end, and I started feeling better. Had a little fruit snack, and the last mile and a half was fine. Felt re-energized. So anyway, here I am. I'm going to quit for the day because it's probably going to rain, and I got to do my laundry and figure some logistical things out. So I'm going to use the rest of my day for that. And tomorrow I'll be starting in the Porcupine Wilderness, where I think it's going to be the same kind of situation. These wilderness areas, for whatever irrational reason, don't have the blazes. So it's going to be another situation where I'm going to have to make sure I'm staying on course. So there's that. Well, it's Friday morning. It's been raining all morning. So, it rained all night too, and I had to sleep in my truck. So I just been kind of hanging out, trying to get as much sleep as I can in a little cramped cab. And I found this little shelter here on the lake. It stopped raining right now, but it's still sprinkling and still wet everywhere. So I decided to cook some breakfast on this lake here. And here's what's for breakfast. Spam, canned pineapple, and we've got some noodle dish currently on the pot. Bon appetit. So yeah, who knows what I'm gonna get in today. I'd like to at least get through the Porcupine Wilderness. And like I was saying yesterday, it's a situation where they're not gonna have anything blazed. So, you know, I'm gonna have to stay on course, you know, assuming it gets dry enough to get in there. But, you know, I'm probably gonna have to deal with wet feet, and then when I get out and take a shower, just find one of those air dryers and dry my shoes out for the next day. But I'd like to at least get in that 6.8 miles to get through the Porcupine Wilderness. Ideally more than that, but I don't, you know, it's supposed to rain again later on, so, you know, this is supposed to blow through here, and then I'll have a small window, and then that's about all I'll be able to do. Okay, so I've decided to go for it. It's still sprinkling a bit, but it's slowed down a lot. I even think I see the sun trying to creep through, maybe, but it promises to be really buggy and really wet. Hopefully my shoes won't be too bad. Let's see here, yeah, 6.8 miles to get out of here. And it's nearly noon, which is about what we expected for there to be, for that front to clear. And yeah, here we go. And I do have my head net on the ready, so if the squits start to swarm, I have to throw that thing on, you know. But this is the Porcupine Wilderness, and well, there's no blazes. It tells you right off, you know, at least they give you forewarning here. There's no blazes, so you gotta stay on the trail and stay on the trail. That's really the only rule, because you'll never really, you know, have that affirmation of the blazes. But so far, I mean, this looks like a pretty obvious trail, and it says that it should be obvious. So, yeah. Alrighty, well, and I have a more topographical type map of this particular area as well, so I have other features and landmarks to base things on as well if I do kind of get turned around. I got a compass and all that kind of crap too, if, you know, worst case scenario type thing, but, you know, just stay on the trail, should be fine. Here's the first little spur trail down here. So I guess that means I've gone 1.3 miles. Doesn't really feel like it. But yeah, the bugs so far have not been bad at all. And surprisingly, it's not really even that wet. Like, my feet aren't really that wet yet. A little bit wet on the top of my shoes, but yeah, not as bad as I thought it would be. I fully expect to be, you know, I got my thickest pair of socks on, but I fully expect to be sloshing a bit by the time it's over. So, and there, interestingly enough, there's apparently a creek crossing or two that you have to ford. So, I don't know, that should be interesting. See how that goes when I get to that. But, yeah, so I guess I'm a mile and a third into it. So, it'd be 5.5 left. Well, here's a creek crossing right here. Pretty cool little creek. Unfortunately, I've already gotten my feet wet. It was just so muddy back in there I couldn't avoid it. So, and she's not too terribly concerned. But, you know, somebody is kind enough to put a, you know, bridge here. So this is no big deal to cross. But, yeah, I'm really digging these woods here. Sadly, I now have wet feet, but, you know, maybe a mile and a half in, but I expected it, though. So, what are you going to do? Well, this is what that little creek empties into, 18 Mile Springs, I guess they call it. That's pretty cool. There's actually a little body of water on the other side of the trail of me too. It's more like a swamp though. Yeah. We're listening to Wagner, by the way. Where is he? It's kind of hard to see, but there's a river otter swimming along. You can kind of see his wake, the wake he's creating. That's pretty cool. That's not the best video, but it's pretty far away though now at this point. 18 Mile Spring Pond. Be nice to see what this place looks like in fall. But then again, probably wouldn't be quite this green. This is nice too. This kind of has its advantages going right after a rain like this. It gives it a different ambiance. I really like it. I think this is my favorite part of the hike so far. Still going the right way. It's making me think that close to the second offshoot trail. Otherwise, why would they show those signs? Maybe just for the fun of it. Or maybe I passed it and didn't notice it. But I'm going the right way for sure. And if I am at that other offshoot trail, then, well, hell, that would be 2.8 miles into it then. Leave me, or 2.9 miles into it. Would leave me with 3.9. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm there yet or not. Oh, and I got this going on. Got a little head net just for my ears and the back of my neck. That seems to be the only area that they consistently, you know, like to get at. So, yeah, it makes it a little bit warmer, but it's worth it. You know, they ain't getting through the net. Well, this must be the spur trail then. So now it's 3.9 miles to go. And there's no other, you know, major landmarks that I can determine mileage after that, so, you know. But it's just a matter of following the trail. And the trail is very easy to follow. This is, you know, much nicer than that Rainbow Wilderness area. I mean, nothing is overgrown. I mean, my feet are still relatively dry other than when I walked to that one mud spot. And, you know, that wasn't a complete submersion or anything, so, yeah. There's a spider, literally, on the camera. Spinning a web. Alright, yeah, that's what happens out here. Things creep and they crawl. And fly. Here we are at the Porcupine Creek. This is what leads into Porcupine Lake, which is, I guess, the largest lake in this wilderness area. I wonder if I'll be crossing it. Probably. I think I remember seeing that on the map. So I'll have a river crossing soon, but odds are there'll be a log or something to walk over. And indeed, perfectly flattened and shaped for the purpose. Wow, bugs are starting to come out in full force now. We're over the Porcupine Creek now. This is just so spectacular. This is just a great trail. Great section of trail here. So, yeah. This is our lake, Porcupine Lake. Beautiful. There's the look at the skies. Something's making noise out there. Well, I'm assuming I'm going... Actually, I shouldn't assume. Let me look in the map. Looks like people have certainly camped here before. On Old Porcupine Lake. Problem with this area is there's a lot of trails going a lot of different directions. So, yeah. Can't say 100% sure, but I don't know. I'll just have to look at it and try to determine the best direction to go. Look at all these ferns. It's very green. Yeah, I think I'm pretty well confident I'm going the right way though. Because trail is supposed to be heading away from the creek, and that other trail seemed to be going around the creek and kind of petering out and not seeming as significant, so this has got to be the right way. I mean, there are no other trails, so I mean, there's no choice in the matter. This has got to be it. Okay, it's real bad here. It's gotten away from the pine forest into just, what was that? A frog or something, or a salamander, I don't know. Damn, son of a bitch. Yeah, this is really wet here. I'm already soaked from my knees down. I'm totally wet already. My feet are wet, so it can only get worse. Jeez. Come on, Leica, get out of there. Yep. Pretty icky. Keep going. Wow. Okay. That might have been the worst of it. Well, still in the Porcupine Wilderness. And I think I can hear the road off in the distance, so might have been wind in the trees, I'm not sure. So I really can't tell how far I've gone, but I feel like I'm walking pretty fast and, you know, covering some ground, and haven't taken any rests or anything. Primarily because it's wet everywhere, and to rest is to get swarmed by mosquitoes. So, I don't know, probably getting close. You know, but it's been good. It's been like this ever since I got out of that kind of swampy area. So not as nice as the beginning sort of pine forest, but still quite nice, quite a bit nicer certainly than the low swampy part of it. Okay, this is the end. Ooh. Yeah, I never took a break. I never took a sip of water. Hiked about 7 miles, and you know, got bit a bunch of times, but never took a rest. There's a car here. It wasn't earlier today. Okay, so starting off today at the end of the Porcupine Wilderness, heading 6 miles to where my scooter is stationed, which is about 1.5 miles away from the Swedish settlement. It's actually, I have no idea what time it is. It's Saturday though, and as you can see, it's overcast. There's threatening rain, but the sun looks like it might burn through, so I'm going to go ahead and chance it and get some walking in. It was supposed to rain all last night. It didn't rain at all. So, you know, that was interesting. So I slept in my truck again when I could have actually put the tent out just fine. Let's see here. Yeah, 6 miles, Forest Road 202, that's where I'm at right now. I saw some of the road crossings when I was driving to the spot, and they're like significantly overgrown, so it might be a pretty, what do you call it, overgrown type of hike today. But let's see, what time is it? 10:05. Saturday morning, August the 8th already. Wow. It's crazy. Anyway, I'd like to go further than that 6 miles. But it just depends how wet my feet get. You know, if they're totally soaked by that point, I might have to call it quits, but if not, then I'll restage my scooter and keep going. We shall see. Well, I'm here and I come across this huge tower. I had to hike up this hill a little bit, and I believe this is probably what they call the 18-mile lookout. As you can see, it's there's no way to get up to it. The ladder starts way up there, so not that I necessarily want to. It looks like a lot of power cordage and whatnot. I don't know if it would even be safe. But can't really get a vista because of all the trees, but I bet you a heck of a view in fall when the leaves fall. But yeah, I just took a walk up here to scope it out. If this is where I think it is, I think I'm 2 miles in. So about a third of the way. Well, looks like I'm coming up to the road. This is probably Wisco Road, which means that I've only got 1.7 miles left to go. Well, I'm alongside a road anyway. Maybe I'm not coming out on it yet. Who knows? But when I do have the road crossing, it'll be 1.7, which means I'm more than 2/3 of the way there. I think I see a car parked here, actually. Well, things have gotten pretty bad. I mean, look at that nonsense. I mean, I've had to bust out the head net. I mean, the thick, it's all the way up to your shoulders. It's really thick. So hopefully this won't last very long and we'll get to nice hiking again. But, you know, I don't have too far to go, but boy oh boy, this is not the best. And plus it's all wet too, so so much for keeping my feet dry. Well, looks like I'm here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I see my scooter. Oh yeah. Well, this is where I slept last night, in this parking spot here. In the truck. With the dog. Tight quarters. Looks like somebody's left a little stick there, hiking stick. Anyway, I don't believe that was there earlier, so. And there was a van here before, so whoever was out there ain't there no mo'. See what this next section is. I mean, I feel fine to keep walking. I'd really like to keep going, but that Swedish settlement's close by too. I'd like to check that out today. But, you know, my feet are wet, the shoes are wet. See if I can't get them somewhat dry in the meantime. I've taken a long rest and now we're gonna head out to the Swedish settlement. My truck is parked 3.7 miles away. That's all I got left in me for the day. I'm so sleepy. Here's a little information kiosk on the Swedish settlement. I've got a brochure with the same information on it. And yeah, so this should be an interesting kind of like historical walk that I'm doing here. I decided I'm only going to do this 3.7 miles today, the rest of today. I mean, I've already done 6, but just do this so I can take my time and, you know, enjoy the remnants of, you know, these old homesteads late 19th century, early 20th century homesteads here. So yeah, it should be interesting. Okay, so I've gone off on this little side trail called Juniper Rock Overlook, and a little bit of a climb, but spectacular view though. Well worth it. Wow, look at this. This is kind of stuff I'm used to seeing like on the Superior hiking trail. And I'll walk out to the edge here. Wow. Yodelee-hoo! Alright, that's enough. Stop. It's a very nice view. I like this spot a lot. Makes me happy. So we made it to the Marengo River here.
I'm just trying to round around this. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I like seeing this
First,
split.
field division.
Yeah, it's really good to see, especially the way Obama put it yesterday. They're like, hey, I think America should listen when the Israelis complain about something. I'm just here to tell you, I'm the president of America, and so sorry. Our interests are different than theirs, and that's about the frankest discussion of that on that level we've probably ever had in America's latest diary.
And what's interesting is that I see the Israeli army went crazy on this one. He said the people who are opposed to this agreement
Pretty nice trail.
supported the war in Iraq, right? Which is absolutely true.
I haven't got to any of the settlement areas yet, but they should be coming up very shortly. And down this little path, there's a Adirondack shelter, and this is continuing on the trail. I'm going to go down here and just check it out, see what this shelter looks like, just out of curiosity. Oh, okay. Interesting. Fires. A broom. How about that? Some interesting graffiti. Bird's nest. Toilet out that way. Some more graffiti. Okay, well this is what an Adirondack shelter looks like. I wonder what their toilet looks like. Wish there's an actual toilet seat. Well, it seems to go on their ways. I don't feel like walking to it. Who cares about the toilet? Alright, well, that was that. So here we are at the Swedish settlement. This is the Mellen homestead. Of course, there's not going to be a whole lot. Okay. So, this appears to be the foundation. I suppose the Mellens used to live. It's all concrete. It's something else. This sign over here. Let's see what this says. Oh, okay. You are here. This is the barn. Interesting. Here we are at the homestead. This, I guess, is a root cellar. Oh. Lots of old stuff here. Wow. It's all full of water. Don't drink it like a... Oh, interesting. Probably can't see on the camera here. This little opening at the top there. Interesting. Got a wellspring coming through. Look at this old bucket. I wonder if that... when that dates from. If that's an old artifact or not. Yeah, there seems to be like a natural seepage coming through. I think I read that. Yeah. Huh. Just gonna look back here a little bit. Oh. Something else in here. Dug out for some kind of purpose. Who knows? It's about the extent of the homestead area here. This dugout area, you got this shed here, root cellar. Little rock wall. Be cool to know what it looked like back then. Well, we're walking along the old road, which I assume is taking us to the old schoolhouse, and you know, as the old adage goes, well, I don't know if it's an adage, but a stereotype that, you know, in my day, I had to walk uphill barefoot to school both ways. Well, this would have been an uphill walk. I guess there would have been a one-room schoolhouse. Okay, here's a little sign. Green Mountain School. Well, school is definitely not in session. All we have left here is a rock foundation. A very mosquito-heavy area. Unfortunately, I can't really hang out and check out too much because they are just going to town. But I guess there was an old school bell here. I'll head back. And it's now resting in a church some, several miles away in one of these little towns. So, I guess it was a heck of a time getting the bell up here to begin with. But, yeah. So I guess little settlers would come from the area here and get their learn on. It is indeed downhill on the way back, though. Well, I'm back on the trail. Hiked all the way back the spur trail back to the main trail. One more look at the old homestead there. Technically I'm still walking through the homestead, but I don't think there's any noticeable artifacts. It's a pretty decent climb though. There's no airflow and it's really humid, so I'm actually this is kind of hard. It's been quite a bit hotter today too than it had been the past several days. So that's contributing to the fatigue. But yeah, it's awfully muggy. Alright, so I'm hiking up another spur trail to this Sally Girl overlook. Because, I'm here, so I might as well do it. Whew. This is what Sally Girl was looking at. The mosquitoes are just out in full force now. It's starting to get pretty annoying. Might have to put the head net on. But pretty nice overlook. You see any sudden jumps in the camera, it's because a mosquito is landing on my hand. Nothing I can do about that. Here's another side trail overlook. Review. Well, there was supposed to have been another settlement for a single guy who lived out here. Basilton or something like that his name was. And I didn't see the ruins of it or a sign for it anywhere. Should have been right along the trail, but maybe there's just nothing left of it. They just realized that there was a homestead there, apart from the Melvin family that we saw already. But as far as the hike goes, I've probably got, I don't know, maybe a mile left or something like that. The bugs are out in full force. As you can see, I've got the good old head net on. And yeah, and I'm sweating so much, it's so hot, and that my map is falling apart here because it was in my breast pocket there, and it's the only map I have, so I'm kind of just holding it out to sort of air it out. Hopefully it dries up and crisps up a little bit, and I can keep using it. I only got a couple more days, so need to keep it intact. Well, it looks like it's coming to an end here. See the road up ahead, and whew, a moment too soon. I'm really hot. I'm soaked, sweaty. I'm not really even that tired, actually. It's just gross and sweaty and bugs everywhere. But yeah, it was awfully humid. But the scooter's here. It's a good sign. Alright, that's it for today. So here well, I can't even talk yet. So here I am back on the trail at Snake Bite Road or Rattlesnake or something about a snake road. And well, that means that 6.1 miles away from where my scooter is, this way. And what else does that mean? I guess that's all that it means. 3.1 miles away from Beaver Lake Campground, and then another 3 to my scooter, which is over at Mineral Lake Campground area. And yeah, this promises to be very wet and buggy. It rained early this morning. Everything's soaking wet, and there are mosquitoes everywhere. I got bug spray all over me, and I already have the head net out. I mean, this is, going to be a disaster. But I need to get this finished so I can, get up out of here. I don't want to be, I want tomorrow to be my last day. And that means I have to put in at least 10 miles today, which means after this 6.1, I will restage the scooter. I'll restage the scooter 4 miles ahead off of Hanson Road there, and that would be my 10.1. Then I'll be on schedule, so I'll only have about 10 miles to do tomorrow, including that Copper Falls region, which is the end of it. And I'll do that. Well, I'm coming up on a big lake here up on the right. I'm assuming that's got to be Old Beaver Lake, because about halfway into it there's a Beaver Lake, a trail leading to the Beaver Lake campground anyway. But boy, this is about as unpleasant as any of the hiking I've done so far. I mean, my feet are soaked already, and the bugs are just outrageous. It's not cool. And there's absolutely no airflow. I mean, it is so humid and stagnant. It's just not... I'm drenched in sweat. Not to mention that all the leaves and grass that I'm walking across are all, soaking wet as well. I'm just wet from head to toe. But I'm on a lake. Hopefully that's Beaver Lake, and hopefully that halfway point is coming up soon, which will mean I have just 3 miles or so left to go until my scooter, but which means 7 for the day. But yeah, sort of hard to enjoy it when it's these conditions, but I'm powering through. It's not so bad, I guess. Alright, so we finally made it to that spot there. This is the trail that goes to the Beaver Lake campground, which means we've gone 3.1. So we have 3 miles left to go. Oh boy. It's gonna be a long day. Now the sun's coming out, so that should increase the temperature even more. So just imagine like 80 degrees, 99% humidity, everything's wet, swarming with insects. That's what it's like. Well, I've just been marching along, crossing a stream right now, and you know, feel like I'm going at a decent clip. I mean, I have to because the bugs are just swarming, and you know, I want to get out of here as soon as I can. So I'm not sure how much more there is, but if I had to guess, I'd say about a mile and a half. Whoa! This couldn't possibly be it already, could it? I have been walking pretty fast though, so I guess anything's possible. Camping area. I'll be damned. Okay, well, here I am. That's cool. I thought I still had at least a mile and a half left, but apparently I've made it. That's nice. Well, I'll have to do this next 4-mile section. Been hanging out for a while because we have a thunderstorm happening. I mean, it was raining for a little while, the thunder's still going off, but I don't know, I gotta get this in and it's getting late, so I'm just gonna walk through it. If it rains, it rains. I mean, my feet are wet already anyway, so pretty much who cares, you know. Let's see. Uh, 4 miles away. For 188. Yep. Yeah, it's just so bad. Bugs are out of control. I don't know if you can hear that thunder or not, but it's been going like this for a while, but I don't know. Hopefully it won't be a torrential downpour if it does rain. But 4 miles, you know, basically like an hour and a half. So, yeah, worst case scenario, I'm in the rain for an hour and a half. Well, here's Lake 3. Wow. These fucking bugs. Just absolutely outrageous. That is crap. Hell away from me. Mosquitoes and biting flies. Just rampant. Well, it looks like I've Made it to the Brunsweiler River. I assume. So, if that is indeed where I am, then that means I'm about halfway. Got a couple more miles to go. While I was stop it. While I was trying to keep my eyes on the trail there for a while, went through a really overgrown spot and no blazes, and had to go back and forth until I found this little side trail that you could just barely make out, and it turns out that is trail, and I'm definitely going the right way now because there's a blue blaze right there, for example. So that was a lot of extra walking trying to find my way, but we're back on track. And it was sprinkling a little bit, but the thunder's gone away and it's not raining anymore at all, so I think it'll be fine. You know, it even looks like the sun might even poke through. So, you know, I don't know how far along we are, probably like 2.5 miles or so, so about 1.5 miles would be my guess. I would have been a lot farther along had I stayed on the course, but yeah, still, we're almost there. It's like I'm hiking through numb. My pants are wet up above my knee, soaking wet, but pretty cool. I mean, you know, bugs are still all over the place, but not as bad as earlier today. I guess maybe the rain batted them down a little bit. But yeah, I gotta find some way to be able to dry my shoes for tomorrow, because I got another day of this shit. So, find some kind of hand dryer. That's what I've used previously. Dry your shoes, and it works pretty good. But I don't know if there's any such places like that in Mellen, which makes me melancholy. Nobody wants to get trench foot. But yeah. Yeah, doing pretty good. It's still real stagnant and everything, but I think I've just like grown accustomed to it. It's not even bothering me anymore. I'm just absolutely soaked from head to toe, and it's fine. I know that I've got a shower waiting for me just a few miles away. Within the hour, I'll be in the shower. Well, looks as though we've finally made it. That would seem like a very long 4 miles. Tell you that. But it's over now. Mercifully. Alright, till tomorrow. So we've reached the final day, and I'm going to start off by doing 5.8 miles to where my scooter is, and that's basically the end of the hike until it gets to like a little bit of a road walk, and then it gets into Copper State Falls, and then I'll, load up my scooter and everything and go from there. So yeah, it's beyond that there, but 5.8 miles is where my scooter is, and that's basically the end of the trail in the woods. And then it'll, technically if someone were to continue it, there would be a road walk into the city of Mellen, and then there's a bike path that you can walk most of the way up until you get into Copper Falls State Park itself, but I'm not going to bother walking any of that, because who wants to walk on a road when I'm already going to be driving on it anyway. And yeah, and then there's, I think, about 3.5 miles of North Country Trail in the park itself, so that'll be 9.3 miles for the day then, and that'll be it. That'll be the end of the road for me. Then I'll be heading back home, and I'm pretty excited about that, because I've had just about enough of these insects. Yeah, last night was unbelievable. I actually found a kind of a cool place to camp, or at least I thought it was pretty cool at first. It was right on a lake there, and nice flat grassy spot to throw my tent down. As soon as I got it down, it was like a wave of mosquitoes came. I mean, it was around dusk, so it's about the time they come out, and this was beyond Thunderdome. I mean, this is like beyond beyond reason. So I got the hell out of there. I left my tent up, and I drove down a few miles to a place on the side of the road where I can get cell service, and I cooked my dinner and everything there, and then I went back to that tent later that night, but I just unzipped it real quick and zipped it back in, got me and the dog in there, so no mosquitoes could get in, and spent the night there and couldn't sleep too well. So about, I don't know, I think it was 5:30 or 6 in the morning, I got up and I just hurriedly picked up the camp there and brought it back to the spot where I was cooking, and I got some more sleep in the truck. And I cleaned everything up and cooked breakfast and everything this morning, and now here I am, and it's about 10:15. I'm getting started here. This is Monday, August something, I don't know, what is it, August 10th, or who knows what it is. Yep, August 10th. So, it's been nearly 2 weeks, and it's finally coming to an end. I guess it's somewhere around 120 miles total that I will have hiked, but I'll add it up and figure out the official number, but it's something like that. So yeah, I was able to dry my shoes last night at the laundromat at Mellen, and that was good, because I was absolutely soaked at the end of the hike yesterday. So I'm at least starting off the day with dry feet, clean dry socks, and that's a good thing. But the morning dew is still on the grass here, so my feet are already getting kind of damp, but I could always stick a quarter in the machine on my way up to Copper Falls and dry them out again for that last 3.5 miles. So I have that option. Then I figure should work out perfectly that I can just go to the campground there at Copper Falls State Park and take a shower at the end of the hike, and then I'll be, you know, done, and then I can maybe start making my way back home. Depends how I feel. Or I could camp out one more night and just get a full night's rest and then drive. This is about, I don't know, 4.5 hour drive at least to get home, so we'll see what time it is at that time. But anyway, we still got today to go, so there's that. Well, this is my first of 2 road crossings of Hanson Road, same road that I parked on. It's kind of snaking around the road here, and so that means I'm 0.8 into it already. Seems like I just started, but yeah, so there's the first crossing. About another mile and I'll be crossing this road again further on down, and you know, okay, coming up to our second road crossing here, which means I've gone 1.8 miles and I have 4 left, as far as I can tell. So that's what it is. So I'm here off a little side trail onto an overlook. The sun was out today. Haven't seen that in a couple days. Some gray clouds up there, but I don't think it's going to rain. And the sun should burn right through that and come re-emerge. We'll come across this shelter on the way here. So that must mean I'm getting somewhat close to the road. This is the next little segment there. There's going to be another road crossing, about a half a mile to that. So about, I'd say about 2 miles total to the end, to where my scooter is anyway. So yeah, probably something like 2 miles left. Looks like we're coming up to the road here, which means I believe there's 1.6 left, either 1.5 or 1.6 left on this portion of the hike before I go into Copper Falls. .6 if I've gone 4.2 already. So might take a drink, hang out for a minute. So really high grass. I mean, just mud everywhere. My feet are soaked. It's been really muddy this whole trail. So I might have to take a stop into Mellen after this and throw these shoes in the dryer. It's just so unpleasant walking with wet feet. But that's a mile and a half from now until I get to my scooter. Wow, about time. I basically ran through that 1.6. That was very unpleasant. All waist high and above wet grass. Oh, my feet are soaked. God, what a nightmare. That's terrible in there. Thank God I'm done. I'm basically done with the whole hike now, except for the Copper Falls section, which, you know, it's a state park. You figure that'll be probably well, fuck, of course, another mosquito, maintained. So hopefully it'll be pleasant the last 3.5 miles. But anyway, so hopefully I'm out of the weeds, so to speak. Well, I'm at the Gopher Falls State Park now. And the trail here started off at Loon Lake. Didn't film anything there because it's a public beach area and there's a bunch of kids everywhere. But I got the dog here. I can't really take her on the trail because you're not really allowed to have dogs too many places. I mean, she could technically walk this 1 mile section of trail here, but then I'd have nowhere to, I couldn't exactly leave her tied up, so I left my truck there, so at least it's in the shade, because all the parking spots at the beach there are, all the shady ones are taken, so I didn't want to just leave her just sitting there in the sun. That'd be annoying for her. You can hear her yipping, she wants to come. I wish she could come. Well, anyway, check this out. My shoe is just like hanging by a thread. I got nothing left on the tread there. So, luckily we're at the end, because I quite literally wore these shoes out. Now this is by far the best maintained portion of the trail throughout. This is a far cry from the rest of the hike. But I'm just trying to I'm actually kind of running, jogging a little bit. I want to do this quickly so I don't leave her back there for too long. And then I'll get to the falls section. And when I get there, she's going to have to stay in the car again. And that'll just be a couple more miles after that, and then I'll be done. So, that's that. Yeah, well, the trail's taking me right through the park campground. And this shoe situation is kind of a joke. I'm gonna have to duct tape the back of this thing up so it stops flopping around when I get back to my truck. Well, that was quick. I'm already here. I think just down this little stairway is the parking lot where my scooter is, I believe. But that's good because I want to get back to the dog. Oh yeah. Alright. Scooter should just be on the other side of that log cabin up ahead there. So, only one little, well, a couple miles left to do around the falls and all that, so it'll be the grand finale coming up, I suppose. Well, here's the river. We continue on the trail now. I assume this is the river that leads to the falls. Whew. Man, oh man. Well, it's just about finished. Well, this is my trail. So, continuing on. It's a high traffic area, so I probably won't be doing too much filming until the falls. Now I don't know if this is Copper Falls or not. I'm suspecting that it's not. Nobody seems to be too concerned about it, but it is a beautiful cascade, however. This is the old Brownstone Falls. This is recommended to me. It's a nice spot. I guess I haven't been to the Copper Falls yet. Just that U shape in the middle there is where the waterfall used to run. And all that eroded and collapsed. And it wasn't so long ago. So the falls have been diverted. Not quite as powerful as they were. Well, the North Country Trail continues down this path for less than a mile, and then it just abruptly ends, and then I'll just have to turn around and come back. And that'll be the end of it. I made it to the backpacker campsite, and it says something about sandstone ledges, 0.4 kilometers, so let's investigate. Here's that packer's campsite. Was a bit of a hike down to it, and it's all downhill. It means I gotta come all the way back up. But we'll see what this is all about. This is that packer's campground. Pretty cool. There's nobody here. But it is right on the river. These must be those sandstone cliffs. Pretty awesome. So, still marching along on the North Country Trail, and thinking maybe half a mile left till the dead end. Kind of regretting not taking a bottle of water with me. I did not realize it was going to be this rugged. This is, you know, the most rugged portion of the entire trail in Wisconsin. Lots of climbing. Reminds me of Superior hiking trail. I hear some water flowage and a little overlook here. Oh, that's nice. A little seepage. But yeah, getting close though. Then it'll be mostly downhill on the way back. There's the good news, I guess. But then I gotta walk all the way, you know, through the rest of Copper Falls just to get back to the truck too. So, you know, still got a lot of hiking ahead of me. And I'm wearing my other shoes because obviously the other ones fell apart. So, well, there you have it. We've reached the end. So, now I get to head all the way back. So, not quite the end. But, no more it's all downhill from here. I don't know. I don't have anything to say. That was kind of a workout, climbing up there. Mostly because I'm basically running up there because I don't want to leave my dog for that long. And it turned out to be a lot farther than I thought. Plus I went on that side trail, did a backpacker thing, which was straight downhill to the river there. And then straight up, so what I'm doing, like an extra mile doing that. So, yeah, feels good to be done, you know. Get ready to take a shower. You know, get cleaned up, clean clothes on. I don't know if I'm going to be driving all the way home, because I'm definitely going to be wiped out, so we'll see how it feels, see how I feel. But this was a different trip than the than the Superior trip. Quite a bit different, you know, obviously it's shorter, but with the exception of this, you know, it was not rugged, it was just really swampy and, sorry for the camera jumping around, but yeah. Who knows, maybe I'll have a better recap when I'm more energized. Okay, so I finally backtracked my way off the North Country Trail. So, I'm just gonna walk this other trail, see where I am here. Yeah, keep going this way and I can go around the other side of the river here and come back out the same place I started, I believe. Picnic register, yeah. So, you know, home stretch. There's a deer right on the track. I guess he doesn't, goddamn insects. I guess he doesn't see me or something. Or maybe people feed it, but he doesn't seem to care. I thought I was imagining things. I thought I saw a dog on the track. I was like, hey, dogs aren't even allowed here. And it's not a dog. It is a mammal, though. Just unaffected doe. Well, this is probably the most, I'm going to get the falls in the picture. Significant falls there are. Just to kind of get a, I don't know, whatever. This is Copper Falls. Kind of nice not having anybody around. I mean, there's very few people at this park. So, sort of got the place all to myself, just me and that deer. It's Monday though. Well, it looks like I'm at the bridge. Leads back to the parking lot. And that means I'm all set, I'm all done. And time to take a shower. This is a great park. I mean, it's a little pricey. It costs $10 to get in here, but I think it's worth it. I mean, for the Midwest, you can't really beat this kind of scenery. So